Okay, we are live. I think we're live. We should be live on everything. We are live. Okay, cool. We're here. Hopefully this is working. Hopefully we can get Quinn on. This should now work. We should have Quinn any second on the stream. We should be good. Quinn should be on. We should have him here very momentarily. We should have Quinn. It'll happen. We've got him. We should have a new stream. F's brilliant. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Okay, that's the chaos quotient done. Right, this is good. Okay, so that's the chaos. Thank you, everybody. Welcome back. Okay, so this is only for the right. Okay, right. The chaos has happened. The chaos has happened. Stuff's happened. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to have to do here is I will change a couple of things like streaming with Quinn from Autistic. Okay. So I will explain everything shortly. It'll happen. Okay. We're doing this thing. Right. Okay. Right. So there's a stream. People are making their way back in. This is good. We're working. Okay. Oh, it's undeliverable. Oh my goodness. It's all go. Oh, I sent Quinn an email, but I sent it. I botched his email address. Oh no. Okay, I've sent him a new link. We will have Quinn. We will have him on. He will be here. Quinn will be here very shortly. Okay, right, everybody. I've not met Quinn before. We will make it shortly. The world has switched around. Oh yes. It has. It's the wrong way around. It's actually not the wrong way around. It actually works for me because that is the way that it looks. There we go. Right. So there you are. Right. We're back to normal. Let's try and get things working. I'm going to do this until Quinn arrives. Music will stop when Quinn arrives. We got this. Quinn's coming. I'm sorry, Quinn. Summon the great Quinn is coming. Guessing Morty, I do not have AT Fairy. Summon the great Quinn. Okay. So this is entirely my fault. I am very sorry, Quinn. This is it. He's coming. Quinn is on the way. I should share the stream, bro. Yes, but it's here and you're here. Welcome, Michael. You're here. Harriet, yes, it messed with my head as well. Go. We can put you all. See, this is all of you guys. Here you are. You're there on that side over there. But you're not going to be there because we're going to have Quinn there. He's going to be here. He's on his way. He's absolutely on his way. He will be here soon. Quinn is coming. The great Quinn is on the way. What went wrong? I will explain it when Quinn is here. Oh my goodness, it's been a while since I've gotten to a 10-day live. How are you, Mike? I'm really well, Zed Shrink. I've just messed up a live stream. It's my fault, Jason S. Welcome, the great Jason S., the coffee-loving man. Welcome, the mighty Quinn, if anyone is old enough to know exactly what I'm saying. Quinn will make his way in. I've got it. I told him I'd keep my phone up and running. We will have Quinn here. I will explain everything. I will. The great Quinn is on his way. He's on his way. He's actually he's on his way. He'll be here in a minute. He'll be here in a minute. And we're back. Yeah. Yes, you're back. Welcome. You're here. Welcome. Pardalo's here. Helen's here. Come on, everybody. Get in here. Get into the new stream. For those of you that missed Tea and Tales from the great hydration fairy in the sky has brought me a fresh cup of tea. The mighty Quinn will be here in a moment. He'll be here. He will. He will be here. He will. He'll be here in a moment. The almighty Quinn. He shall be here. Right, before it's all over, before everything happens, reach into my email address. I've got to send him in. He'll be here. He will. I'm just going to just chatting with Quinn right now. He's on the line. He's going to be in a moment. Any second now. Gosh. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Right, he's on his way. He's on his way. This is good because it gives people a chance to get in here. And you're trying to convince us or yourself. Well, I have figured it out, and I've also, we had a few issues. Basically, with Restream, when you have a guest, you have to start the stream with them. I went live without my guest. But that was intentional all the whole time. It was supposed to be like that. We were supposed to be going live before Quinn arrived, get everything in place, and it didn't work. But the mighty Quinn is on the way. The mighty Quinn is on the way. He will be here. Yes. This is because you're autistic, Rose. Oh, yeah. Mini Community K-pop. So who's here from the Quinn Army? Who's here from the Quinn Army? Because I don't even know how many people are here. Thank you. Thanks, Anne. The music, I'll pull it down as soon as Quinn arrives. I have no idea what's happening. This is Willow Tree, but the suspense is getting to me. Let him in, Mike. You're getting mean. Yeah, he's coming in now. He's like trying it now, he says. Zetrink, I will tell you what happened, but let's get Quinn on first. I don't want to play the song again because it's drum solo time. Come on, hi, sure. How are you doing? How are you? We're running out of drums to roll. Jack by Jack, we are. He's on his way in. I've got him on text at the minute. He's right here. He is literally sending me messages. It's only 10 minutes to wait is all I have to say. Sing instead. I'm not going to do that. He's coming in. I got a thumbs up from him. He thumbed me like that. Isabella is on the way. It's on the way. He's coming in. He's coming in. I got a... Yes, I can show that to you. There, look, see? Got a thumbs up from Quinn. He's on the way in. He's on the way in. He's going to be here in a second. He's going to be like straight in here. Come on, Quinn. Come on, Quinn. You got this. Come on, Quinn. Get in here. Come on, everyone's waiting for you. I don't even know how many people we have. How many people do we have? Anyway, I'll put the overlay on until he gets here. Oh, I heard noise. Oh, he's here. Quinn. Welcome, Quinn.
Hello there. I don't think you can see me yet.
Not yet, but quintessentially Quinn is here. My friend.
Don't get too excited. Right, I'll just find my camera settings and switch it around to the camera I'm actually plugged into.
Yes. This is unprofessional of you, Quinn. This is you should be better than this.
Oh, I know. Terrible.
Welcome, Quinn.
Yeah, I think we've got it.
Right, Quinn, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello.
Oh, right. Sorry about the hassle getting here.
I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody. So many technical glitches. I do normally say on my live streams expect chaos, but yeah, that was too much. And we had like quite a lot of people waiting to come in, and well, hopefully they found the new stream. They were directed to the new stream, had to bomb the old one and create a new one. My apologies.
They got here. That's what matters.
Absolutely. Quinn, it's a massive pleasure. Massive pleasure to see you.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be on with yourself and actually finally meet you.
Definitely.
Your name's been mentioned many a time, and I only recently found your channel.
Oh, bugger,
And
Quinn. Shame. Was that in bad?
I really like it, and I
Thank
don't
you.
say that often.
Neither do I. It's like I don't know, like there's enough voices to have a different flavor for different people. And I think that's kind of key. None of us watch every show on every channel, we pick and choose. And I think having that option available is so important. I personally like your content. Your videos were one of the things that gave me some kind of brain soothe, a bit of a brain balm, when you're kind of processing your own thoughts on the matter of whether or not you're autistic or not. And it was just really nice to be able to kind of hear from someone who's culturally similar to myself, kind of going through it. It was almost like quite nice, really, really helpful. And I'm happy to have been able to return the favor to others since.
I'll be honest, I really didn't expect that when I started it. I don't know what I really did expect at first, but I didn't foresee that there would be so many people who were recently diagnosed or identified or on the way to on that journey to finding out. That I realize it now, and I think there's a lot of responsibility comes with it. But no, I didn't anticipate that at first. I don't know what I expected. I mean, it was very, very slow to start with. I think it took me over a year to get my first 1,000 subscribers.
Okay.
It really was a very slow journey at first. In fact, I think probably 9/10 of the subscribers I have now are from the last 2 years or so. When we met for the first time the other day, we talked about that, about how there's been not only an increase in diagnoses out there, but also the number of channels and blogs and websites, and for that matter, advocates out there. There are a lot more voices there. Not everybody's saying the same thing, but there are different ways of looking at this, and there are different perspectives on autism, because it's that old cliche: if you've met one of us, you've met one of us.
Exactly.
For all that we've got in common, we are all different people. So we need those voices out there, because somebody who's not going to relate to me might relate to you, or might relate to somebody else. So the more the merrier. I always say that. Well, at least when it comes to autistic advocacy, I do anyway.
Yes, I was about to say, yes. There's quite a few things that are not made better by more of. Absolutely. Yannicka says there's way more voices than there were 5 years ago. It's just like you were saying there, Quinn. I mean, even I'm fairly new to it. 5 years ago, I didn't realize I was autistic. I just thought I was a bit of a round peg and square hole type of thing. And you are one of the OG YouTube autism advocate. Tracy Cases. Quinn is one of those who paved the way on YouTube, and I think that's absolutely true. It might have been a slow start for you, but that was more along the lines of it being a slow start for the culture. It was brand new at the time. Definitely.
So, do I really look younger without glasses? There we go. It's just my focal length. I'm myopic. I'm short-sighted, but I'm also presbyopic because I'm an old git. So I'm at that point where my perfect focal length is right about where computer monitors sit. So whenever I'm working, because I spend most of my day in front of computers one way or another, I don't wear specs. But whenever I'm watching TV or filming, I've got them on. So yes, you're seeing the unencumbered but very rarely seen version of me. Unless you happen to be a computer monitor, then you see it all the time.
Yes, and for me, it's the other way around. I just take my contacts out, so I've got sunglasses. No, I usually wear sunglasses. I mean, I've got pairs of these just stashed everywhere. I mean, that's a bit of a pro tip, by the way. Just buy a load of cheap sunglasses and just chuck them everywhere you happen to be.
I'm exactly the same with cheap reading glasses. I wear specs for distance, obviously, but I wear reading glasses now for reading or Steam Deck or anything like that. In fact, I now play the Steam Deck up there because my specs are +1 and I really need about +050 to be about there. But what's the hell? There's a small screen anyway, so it makes it bigger,
Exactly. It's kind of like built-in magnifying glasses.
This one is very small. They're far away.
Father Ted reference for those that didn't catch that. So So who's here from the Quinn army? Can we get a couple of
really
get a
refer
couple
to
of
Father
shout-outs
Ted
here?
because people are going to go, Graham Linehan.
Exactly. These are very small. These people are very far away. There's no one here.
I will say that is one of the great shames of the culture wars of recent years, is that so many people that I formerly thought were good and were talented took a side that I would not have approved of myself. And it's created so many schisms within communities all over the place, not least within our own.
Yeah, we do see that even now. Like, it's I don't know. It's just a bit of a shame, really. I suppose that it's almost like as humans, we're just given to schism ourselves,
Exactly,
and to split ourselves into multiple groups where we all agree. Quinn and I were actually talking yesterday. One of the things we mentioned was about if we were to disagree, it not being the end of the world, we can have a gentleman's disagreement and discuss and debate.
we didn't. I don't know where he's coming out with this bullshit from. I'm sorry. No, indeed we did. But I think it really is a major problem that idea of being able to respectfully disagree about something has, I wouldn't say been lost, but we don't see enough of it. And certainly not in sort of everyday debate, whether we're talking geopolitical issues, God knows how many crises around the world, domestically and abroad, but in everyday life and just in dealing with things like our own situation. The video you did the other day, all those weird reactions people have on finding out we're autistic. Why is it so difficult to take that information on?
It really is, and I don't know why people feel so strongly about it. I've, in my life, even as undiagnosed autistic, I would never, or unidentified, we had this discussion earlier, which is, I never felt strongly about somebody else's identification or viewpoint or neurology or gender. It doesn't bother me. Doesn't affect me. I don't much care. No, not in a horrible way, a non-empathetic way. Just it doesn't particularly matter. Yet there are some very strong feelings, which, just a small experiment is just to do an autism disclosure to someone that perhaps you, by the way,
that is such a risky thing, and it shouldn't have to be. That's what people like us are here trying to make a difference to. By the way, TJ, couldn't agree more. I think that was very well put. It was, I just got to get the exact words.
I'd rather be excluded for who I include
rather than included for who I exclude. That's brilliant. I don't know whether you came up with that yourself or whether it's from somewhere else, but those are fantastic words.
I like it. I like it too. It took my brain a moment to kind of decode it into. I'd rather be than that was all. It's just got quite a little logical jump, but it's beautifully put. Almost rhymes.
I just realised that these comments are going downwards instead of upwards. I was scrolling up before and realised I was going back in time.
That was me earlier. Victor, did I say that right? Kolosky. If I were a YouTuber, I'd be like Quinn. This would not necessarily be a bad thing, but what's wrong with
is it Victor Kolosky by any chance?
Yes.
He's one of my subscribers on Patreon. Hi, Victor.
Oh, fantastic.
I've seen Shah on there as well, Kate Harriet, quite a few there that I know. So, hey guys, nice to see you. All right, a few people said I should do an introduction for those who've not come across me. You did actually mention that when we spoke earlier. Right, so as you've gathered by now, I'm Quinn. I run the Autistic channel on YouTube, amongst other things. I'm basically an old autistic git. I am one of the old guard. I was diagnosed before the spectrum was actually in the manuals. I was told I had a new kind of autism that's it's a new theory, and got home from the educational psychologist. My parents didn't know what it was. I had no idea. I mean, this was like the early 80s. When we got the letter through, my dad tore it up and burnt it. That was no son of mine, and that was basically it. But I spent the rest of my life trying to work out what it actually meant. And that led me eventually to about 5 or 6 years ago, starting Autistic. And it's just led me here. About a year ago, I was made redundant from my day job. I worked in the same industry for 30 odd years. But I got to that point where I was too old and had too many very specific skills, and the company was restructuring, and sorry, Quinn. So now I do this full time. And yeah, recently met Mike through the channel. He actually left comments on my videos. A couple of people who knew me had said I should have a look, and we just started talking, and here I am, folks. How exciting.
Very exciting.
Oh my God, I'm turning into Snagglepuss. I shouldn't do that.
It's the beard that gets me, I'm afraid. It's fantastic. It's like a permanent prop. Tracy Cases, if I grew a beard, I'd be like Quinn.
You know what?
Magnificent.
Remember when we were talking the other day, I mentioned another YouTuber that we both knew called Steve Shives.
Mm-hmm.
He did a video recently, a Star Trek themed one. Now, he's always had a dark, close crop beard, and he did a video where his beard was gone. I was like, wow, that's amazing. How did you do that? I just put a comment on his video, what was the... Anyway, he obviously went away, had a look at one of my videos, and just on his next one said, yeah, somebody asked how I did that. Yeah, I did it like this, but I don't think you're going to be able to do it if you look like Santa Claus. Okay.
You look like Santa Claus.
Well, I never thought about it. Fair enough.
I was thinking you're rocking the Viking
in bright red clothes with white piping or anything. So
exactly, although it's very fashionable. You could, I think you could pass off as a Viking for sure. I mean, I'm from the Isle of Man, for those who don't know, and we've got a sort of like a Viking ancestry, a Viking culture here. Quinn would fit in very, very well. I think he's just off to find some piping.
What's going on there?
We're just looking up. I thought you were just off to get a disguise.
No, it's the
amazing
camera. It's an AI camera, and every now and again I make a gesture without realizing it. There we go. I got it relatively recently. It's a gimbal camera that is set at the moment to follow wherever I go. So if I go over there, it should follow.
Is it one of these?
Very similar, yeah. I've got the tail air. Is that the tiny, or is that the Instagram?
No, this one's the Instagram, the Insta 360, I think one, which is what I was using before. But that was a problem for me because quite often on streams, people would be looking at the ceiling.
Yeah,
I've been talking to them because I've inadvertently, because I move my hands a lot when I talk.
Yeah,
and that gesticulation gets picked up by the camera as an instruction to do something.
Exactly, that's what I'm doing here.
And then people see looking up my nose or something. It's quite amusing.
Actually, another friend of mine, Shah, who's in the audience tonight, I saw his name earlier on. He just got one of those actually. So I want to pick your brains about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I got the tail air relatively recently. It's a great camera. It isn't quite what I intended it for, but it really is great for things I've got planned in the near future, which, well, some of the things we've been talking about, to be honest. Because we don't have camera people to staff things for us, having something that I could go from one place to another with and have it follow me would be quite handy.
Second angle, you've got a hidden cameraman hidden behind there. I mean, it is actually pretty handy, but then you end up getting an inadvertent shot. And if you're like me as well, so there's like a light stand over there, a camera over there, there's a tripod over there, and then it sort of pans and just you end up just looking at a load of gear rather than about the shot that I'd carefully composed. I've like angled this web. This is just a webcam. I've angled it so.
They are handy as long as they're doing their job, and I think I've got to get used to it a bit more. But this one, it's got a remote control that comes with it, so rather than controlling everything through the screen or a phone app, but as I say, I'm getting used to it. But yeah, I say that's a potted bio of me, really. I am just an old autistic bugger who talks about myself on screen, and people seem to like it. So now I'm trying to make a living out of it, and I will eventually.
Yeah, fantastic, Quinn. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely honoured actually that you decided to pop in here and do a live stream. I liken the live streams of my channel to be the ADHD side versus the long form content, which is a bit more structured and thought out and researched. As opposed, I know I didn't mean to say that. I'll edit it out. Whereas the live streams are a little bit more impulsiveful. But folks seem to like it, so here's to more live streams.
Well, I mean, otherwise I'd have just been started watching a political debate, which I am boring enough to have taken it, and I will watch it later.
Right afterwards, we're doing it.
There are much worse things to be doing on a Tuesday night. But aside from anything else, it's just nice to actually talk to somebody like yourself with such similar experience. Not only recently, but I find it quite fascinating when we look at the differences and commonalities in so many of us. When we said just now about how if you've met one of us, you've met one of us. It is remarkable how many parallels that we find when we start talking, despite so many of us coming from such completely different backgrounds. And I find it remarkable how much of the "oh my God, me too" there is. It really caught me by surprise how often that happens and how many people I basically I didn't expect to touch people as closely as I seem to have. It's humbling. It really is. Some of the comments people leave, I see the same view. People leave comments telling me that I've made a massive difference in their lives sometimes. And you can either sit there and just go, "Oh, yeah, look at me. Oh, I do." But it is a responsibility. It
certainly feels that way. I mean, sort of like early days, it's like, oh, no one's really watching, and then later on, it becomes, I can now picture certain people from the community, and you will know who you are. And it's like, okay, I'm not talking to actual people. I've got to be a bit more careful about what I'm saying. But even so, like you said, you've seen one of us, you've seen one of us, you see one autistic person, you see one autistic person. But like you said, you can just pick like slices of experience, and it resonates quite highly because there's so much, irrespective of geography, culture, and gender, there's a lot of stuff that really we've all experienced, or similarities to it, which is why autistic authors can write a book and people buy it and go, wow, I really relate to this. I mean, for me, the biggest first shock was reading some books by autistic authors and going, every single page. I mean, this person is talking about, martial arts that they did and how that helped them with, their proprioception. And for me, it's something else. It's snorkeling and diving. But it's basically changed just a couple of names, but it's my book. It's like, what's going on? How is that possible? How are you doing in the chat? I've got one here from B3NO4 saying, can you do a video on the autism quotient test? Because I find the extra content and examples you give the questions really helpful. I'm not sure who that was aimed at, but either or of us. Have you done an AQ test video before, Quinn?
I haven't, no. I'll tell you for why, because I don't think I can do one and be particularly positive about it. Now, the problem I have with it is I know that a lot of people at the start of their journey look at such online questionnaires, and they're really useful tools. And I don't want to discourage people from using them because they're an essential step on the road for a lot of people. Okay, some of them may be a bit misleading, some of them very misleading, some of them very, very heavily couched in language of deficit and disability.
Yes.
And I don't think they help in that respect. However, if I were to say to people that they were a bad idea,
you might just
doing them a disservice. So but because of that, I've not wanted to sort of tear them apart because, that's what I would do. People who are on or have been on Twitter might be aware of Anne Memmott. She's obviously active on other social media. She's got a blog as well. If you look up the name Anne Memmott, MEMMOT, I think it's only one T. She's an absolute master at dismantling the press releases and the scientific papers put out by a lot of these organizations, particularly with regard to ABA, applied behavior analysis.
Oh, so what's the name again?
Anne Memmott. I think it's Anne without an E, and I think it's two M's in the middle of Memmott.
Okay,
possibly 2 T's at the end. But she's got a blog in her name, but it's well worth a read. But she's I say, if anybody hasn't encountered her, look her up. So she dismantles so many things, and she does it expertly, and she does it from the point of view of somebody with the knowledge and the expertise, and the qualifications to back it up as well. I think she's one of our most powerful voices in that respect, in that what she says is absolutely crystal, and it goes right to the heart of the matter every time.
I'm so glad to hear that, actually. I mean, it was one of the things that struck me reasonably early on was learning about formalized ABA.
Yeah.
And the justification for a lot of it is actually very circular. Like the scientific papers reference each other in a beautiful circle. I've got tons of ABA papers, and you can literally make a little map. I'm kind of becoming famous for mind maps now, but basically it becomes this perfect circle where it's just, oh, so and so said we did this, it was useful. All right, so and so said we did this, it's useful. Oh, so and so. There's almost a Monty Python-esque sketch where you just end up with this sort of Chinese whisper of evidence, which is quite sort of weak, but it can be, oh, look, we've cited 20 papers on ABA and it says that it's effective. And it's like, well, hang on, it's just the same thing being repeated ad nauseum. And so you get quite a bit of that. But I did do the CAT-Q, sort of live, unquote live, on the video, and I thought no one would ever want to watch it, and no one did actually for months. And then all of a sudden, people started watching it, and they were also doing the CAT-Q themselves. And I suppose for my part, and I had this with my formal autism assessment as well, is when I was asked a question, I would ask for clarification nearly every time, and it got to a point where Quinn, the camera's looking at the ceiling again. That's all right. And like, hello. Just go this way. And like, it's like you're asking a question, it's like, oh, please, just for the purposes of time, don't ask for clarification so often almost. And it's like, well, you have to, because quite a lot of it. One of the questions, for example, on the autism quotient, one of the autism quotients, there's a number of them. They've got numbers in the end for how many questions there are. AQ10 is the most popular, but like AQs, whatever. One of the questions on that is brilliant. It's, would you rather go to, it's couched as in I would rather, and it's like a strongly agree to disagree. And it's like, I would rather go to I forget which way it is, but it's library versus, what was it like? It was a museum or a party or something. And it's like, well,
whose party is it? Which museum? What afternoon is it? Is it raining? Do I have to catch a bus to get there?
Quinn, no, just the first answer that comes to your head. You know what I mean? So whilst these tests, and I'm not totally shooting them down, because there's some use there. Like it's like almost like a little indicator, a vague compass. North is over that way somewhere, that kind of thing. It's like, what? I like both. I like going to the museum. And, if Quinn decided, to have a get together and we'd go and talk about cats and autism, we're good, right? We would have a lovely time. Read a Douglas Adams book or whatever. It would be great. So it's not like a party. You kind of have to reverse engineer the tests. I was accused of trying to reverse engineer the tests. And it's like, well, that's not entirely wrong. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by party. So you mean a loud party of a spring break American type is what you've got in your mind. And in a museum, you're thinking of, is that right? And they're like, no, just answer it how you think it would be. And you're like, well, I don't know. I've never played beer pong in that respect. My university was quite quiet by comparison. Just like that. Yeah.
So I was just looking down there through various ones.
Jennifer, thank you. It's museum versus theatre, not party. It's like museum versus theatre. Thank you. Yeah.
You see, that's how long it is since I've looked at one of those. I mean, to be fair, because of my story, it's kind of something I've only looked at out of curiosity every now and again. But yeah, it has been suggested to me that, I should do something on it. And that's mainly the reason. I know that quite a few people have at times put together alternate versions of it. I think Embrace Autism.
They've got a good description that goes with it. With each of the tests, they talk about the scientific basis and sort of veracity of the test, which is nice. They give like a little block about that with the tests.
Yeah. Now, in response to Anne earlier on, I'm sorry, I got to go all Blackpool bingo caller for this. Right. Fella goes to doctor.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Doctor got terrible problems with me back. He says, all right, fella, all right, lie down over there. So he lies down. He says, you want to take my clothes off? He says, God, you're keen, ain't you, lad? No, just lie down. So he's lying down there. Fella brings in Labrador, brings it in. Labrador walks around him, sniffs, barks, and then buggers off. Guy sits there, goes, what the hell's going on here? Next thing, fella comes in, brings in a cat, ticks it around him. Cat goes, meow. Doctor goes, all right, takes a few notes. Fella's come, what the bloody hell's going on here? Doctor's not vet. Come on, doctor, give us a news. Well, I wasn't really sure, but after the lab report and the CAT scan, there's nothing wrong with you. Oh. That's one of the worst dad jokes ever, but I've always liked it.
It's quite. I was quite impressed with how well you conjured up your inner northerner.
Oh, that was it. We actually went. Echolalia has many forms, and one of mine is accents.
Yeah.
I don't repeat people's words so much as I pick up their accents.
Yeah.
We went to Blackpool on holiday a couple of years ago. Actually far too many years ago, and I ended up talking like that everywhere. And my wife kept saying, "Stop it! You're doing it again." Yeah. It didn't help. I did for a while do a job where I worked in a national centre where I dealt with people all over the country, and I'd have people coming up from Glasgow, and I'd end up unwittingly copying their accents, and it got me into trouble. I was accused of all sorts of shenanigans. So it's something I've got to watch out for because I do it unconsciously. So yeah, I feel most comfortable speaking to people who have a similar accent to myself because then I don't borrow theirs.
I can empathise a little bit. I'm quick to pick up accents too, and in the past, so I've been accused of taking the piss, and it's not like that at all. It's just bringing in. As Ida says here, great accent and storytelling, Quinn. I think you've got a bit of a gift there, to be honest. That was very good.
We've got Jules down there. Says that he's apparently picked up a British accent, but he's German. You're familiar with the comedian Henning Venn?
Henning Venn is amazing. I love Henning.
It's very funny, but I mean, he's lived over here for years now, and he definitely hasn't picked up a British accent.
He's just German.
He's so very, very German.
Mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut.
I actually did German at school. That was one of the few languages I did. Weirdly, I did English, obviously. I did French and German and Latin is the only one that I remember anything of. It's actually been really useful. Particularly with all the ailments I've picked up over all the years. Well, it's one of the daft things. But I've talked about it on screen before. I have spinal arthritis. The medical name is ankylosing spondylitis.
Ankylosing spondylitis, yeah.
Now, the ankylosing bit means basically armor plating. My spine is my vertebrae are gradually getting thicker and fusing together. And it's happening in my lower back and in my neck, hence why I'm getting more stooped as I get older. But I was fascinated by it when I was diagnosed, just because I thought ankylosing, ankylosaur, armor plating, right. So it's like it's something to do with the bone getting thicker, is it? Yeah. Oh, it's all right. I had to explain to the doctor how I knew what it meant. It wasn't because I'd been, as he said, I've been consulting Dr. Google, have we? No, like this is 20 years ago. You know, Dr. Google was barely heard of back then. But no, it was just that thing, because I was interested in dinosaurs and I did Latin. It was like, oh, makes sense. But it's surprising how useful that's been over the years.
It's unbelievably useful. One of my passions, my special interests, is marine biology. I contribute to and do a lot of marine science projects. And again, the Latin. So Latin is not something that's taught at school for me. Something I've been picking up afterwards. And it's amazing because obviously biology and the taxonomy is all Latin. So like, you know, we look at things like echinoderms, echino meaning spiky, derm meaning skin. And it's like, oh, okay, that's an echinoderm. It's a starfish, for example, is part of the echinoderm family. Oh, that's obvious because it's a spiky skin. And maybe we just need to go back to English being a little bit more descriptive. So we have the autistic cat tuber. We have the we should describe things better. We have the hot tea holder, which would be a little bit more descriptive of what we're saying. That would probably be a really good thing.
That would have been very handy now, because that tea was a bit too hot, actually.
Yes, indeed, yes.
I brought myself up a cup of tea, and another one. Oh, God, I'll order again. I brought myself up a cup of tea, and I brought another one up in an insulated cup. Oh, it's probably cooled down a bit by now. No, that was really well insulated.
Yeah, per the description, Quinn. It reminds me of those that perhaps need the "this drink is hot" sort of label on like a McDonald's coffee. Well, I did request it as such. Nina the tea fairy just brought me a fresh cup of tea. So if you see me wincing from my cup changing, that's exactly what it is. She sort of reaches under the camera and swaps it over. Well,
Mrs. A isn't feeling too good today, so she's downstairs keeping the cats company.
Best place to be.
Indeed. It was lovely earlier on, actually. She's had a bad day. For people who don't know, my wife, she has EDS. She's not autistic, but she does have EDS, and she has ME. And she's just having a bad day today, and she couldn't get up. She got up this morning, went straight back to bed, basically. But it was really nice earlier on. She sent me a little photo of her lying in bed with one of our little kittens draped around her head. Actually, I should say for that anybody who knows my channel, I've not actually mentioned it on screen yet. I mentioned recently that our cat Jimmy died a few months ago at the end of September last year, which I still don't want to talk about. It's very hard, but we adopted a couple of kittens a couple of months afterwards, Orla and Leota. They will be appearing on screen soon. They are my absolute pride and joy. Love them to bits. Little Ginger, Orla, and a calico, or as a lot of people in Britain would say, a tortoise shell and white. But they're beautiful animals, lovely. I say they've not been on screen yet, but I've got loads of photos and footage of them. I've even got a night vision camera. It's a 360 night vision security camera. Loads of stuff of them getting up to stuff at night. So that should be quite fun. In fact, that might be something you and I could do together at some point. Is something to do about cats and silliness, because you've got plenty to work with there.
I've got plenty to work with. In fact, I think when I did, just taking it back to the cat queue again, the queue for Quinn here, I just needed a thumbnail for YouTube. And I thought, well, cat queue, obviously it has to be done, doesn't it? So I just made a queue, put some Velcro on the back and stuck it. It's just cat queue, obviously. But sorry, it's I'll have a pee, please, Bob, for those that know the reference. It's just catchphrase stuff. But like, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'm very sorry to hear about Jimmy. Your video was hard for me to watch. It was shared in the Scratch and Post Discord, and with a note. Just it's a hard one to watch. A hard one for me to watch. The one of the psychologists that I worked with said to me that she was surprised. Not surprised, but like, see, autistic people do have empathy. And for me, it was just a weird thing to say. It's a very bizarre thing that made my head just break a little bit. I'm like, why would you say that? What an odd thing to say. And then she was like, well, a lot of scientific literature says that autistic people lack empathy and have difficulties with understanding empathy and understanding feelings that other people might have and so on. And I'm like, well, I said for myself, I've probably hyper empathy, really. I have to sanitize what sort of content I take in. Things like TikTok and things I find really difficult, because occasionally I'll find videos that on one surface appear cute, but it's actually an abandoned animal or an animal put into a position to make content. And that can affect me for a whole day. It can just completely ruin what I was planning to do. So I kind of have to sort of sanitize myself, and therefore I must not be autistic because empathy.
But yeah, again, empathy is such a weird, misunderstood thing. Far too often we mistake empathy with sympathy, or merely just awareness of somebody else's suffering. I mean, basically, there's no empathy in sending out our thoughts and prayers. Empathy is actually feeling something. Empathy is actually having an emotional reaction. Now, empathy comes in different forms. Cognitive empathy is what we usually talk about when we refer to this idea of us not having empathy. But the cognitive empathy is where the double empathy thing comes in. That's just down to learned experience. That's down to judging other people by your own standards. And, you know, where we tend to get a problem in that is that our standards are very often based on a finer standard of veracity, of honesty, of completeness, of whole truth than the neurotypical people we're talking to. And that means that sometimes they may call it overthinking, but what we're doing is actually looking at the many possibilities. You know, when we talked yesterday, you know, I said about that thing about we can't see the wood for the trees. But no, you can see the wood, I can see the trees, but while you're looking at the wood, I'm also looking at the sky and those hills over there and the flowers. I can see so much more than you, even though I can't see this big picture.
And consequentially, it's taking you a while to take it in.
Exactly.
So you're looking there. For me, at that sort of level of what do you call it, perception, I guess, is, you know, a double-edged sword. So walking into a new environment for me is stressful. I'm looking for where the toilets are and I'm scanning like a flipping dot matrix printer, you know, just looking through my environment. But then on the other side of things is I've got discoveries of biological species. For the first time, we found a grooved top shell in the waters here and got on the BBC for that a couple of years ago. And it's like, well, that's the same sort of autistic perception. All I'm doing is I'm looking in the sea over a meter square, spending 10 minutes per meter square. That's very slow, by the way. Imagine looking down at a table, just a few placemats, and then just looking, taking a picture, making some notes. And that's how we make discoveries. And that's really boring for a lot of people. I know a lot of neurotypical divers that would much rather be, they're so bored. 10 seconds, they're gone. They've already made a fast, rapid judgment, a fast, rapid assessment, which of course has advantages in other areas. So we're not flawed. We can see the other side as being deficient, perhaps, in detail. And then they can see us as being, you're so damn slow. What's going on with you?
That's the thing, though. You've really done a very, very good job of illustrating it. That is the fast, rapid assessment. And that's what we're not generally inclined to do. We all have different ways of perceiving the world. We all, I think a lot of what we do is we consciously analogize things. The video I've got coming out in a couple of days, I go into about that a little bit, about how, you know, there are visual thinkers, there are mathematical thinkers, there are logical thinkers. I mean, I'll give you an example. There's one of my friends in the audience there, Pete Little, is a mathematician. The guy's a whiz with numbers, done it for a living, great at that. But do he and I necessarily think in the same way? I know that my way of rationalizing the world is quite verbal. Pete and I have known each other for a few years through social media and the like. He's one of my patrons. We obviously see things in a very similar way, but do we actually see it in the same way? We've come to the same conclusions. We've had a lot of the same problems in life, a lot of the same pressures, but he's very mathematical. Does he see the world and process it the same way as me? I don't know. But we end up with similar problems and having similar issues, hence why he and I know each other, hence why you and I know each other. We undoubtedly perceive the world very differently to each other, but we still come to very much the same conclusions on a lot of things. Yeah. Okay, we're not going to agree on everything. And, you know, thankfully, we're both the sorts who can respectfully disagree like we talked about. But to have come to so many conclusions, there's obviously something there we've got a lot in common, even if it's not something that's easily quantifiable or something you could pick up on a brain scan.
I think there is. No, not a brain scan, I agree. And I don't think a psychologist necessarily could. But I think that thing that you're describing is the journey, or not the destination. It's the how. Like you described, looking at the flowers, looking at the trees, looking at the hills beyond the sky, and you're starting to build that picture yourself. Sometimes that's not strictly necessary, but sometimes it is. One of the things that fed into my diagnostic assessment was that I'm really good in an emergency, as in fire, body and limb emergency. And I've got some stories that will make it to the later videos later. But broadly speaking, it's because I'm not feeling it at the time. And when I've had, sadly, some pet issues, I had to go to vets and things, it's like it's like I'm disassociated entirely, and I'm just piloting a meat suit to get the thing done, and then afterwards I would just break down. And it's like a delayed thing. I can use my emotional spoony credit card, pay for the thing now, make the body do the thing now, but later I have to repay it. And that was a thing with the psychologists. They were like, well, that means guys in soft science rather than a hard one. Like, just plug a wire in or something and figure it out.
I think that in a way, there's a thought that's been going through my mind a lot recently. I grew up.
Back to us, Quinn. Come back to us.
Oh, come here, you.
That's
right.
For those who don't know, that's why it's unplugged. Okay, that's why we're on a little webcam now. This is much better quality than the webcam, but like that's why. I just didn't want it moving. It was a feature, but I lost control of it because I'm often moving about, Quinn, and we're doing the cat thing and the fish tank thing, and yeah. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing. Because I move around a lot, I make gestures, and I forget which ones I shouldn't make because it tells the camera to do something. Hence why I've got the remote with a nice little up and downy, lefty righty thing there.
Yeah, that's useful. Yeah, that's really good.
At least I've got the manual thing.
Yeah.
I think this has been. I am going to have to go in a minute because I did promise Mrs. A that I would be done at 9:30. So she's not very well. I need to spend a little bit of time with her and get her comfortable for the evening. But yeah, next time we do this, I'll do it with a different camera. When I do at the conference I mentioned that I did the other day was for the Northeast Autism Society. I've done the same one with them for the last couple of years. Always really enjoy it. And whenever I do that, I use the background, put it through OBS, and I use the DSLR that I started out using. And that's wonderful for such presentations. So maybe I'll do something like that next time. It's only basically because my house is so chaotic. This is one of the few places I can sit that doesn't look like a shit heap.
Well, this is why I want a camera that's fixed in one direction, Quinn.
Yeah,
you don't want to look that way, guys. That's where the YouTube stuff lives. There's stuff over there, but this angle is sacred. Everything else is gone to hell.
I mean, it's nothing exciting. This is just a little box room. We've got that's where I do all my editing. Bookshelf back up there. We've only got 2 bookshelves now because we ditched a whole load of them last year.
Quinn, can I call your attention to the chat, which says there's 105 people here, and we've got a next time from Senpai Jack. Harriet, yay next time. Anne, yeah, I'll be there next time. Anne's one of the people that put me to contact you, bugged me to say, hey, get in touch with Quinn, by the way. Just I'll point that out.
Yeah.
We've got quite a few sort of like, next time, this was great. Please do it next time, Quinn. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Quinn. Thank you, Quinn, for your chat.
Before I go, I'll just say one thing to everyone, okay? Mike and I have talked about doing some stuff together in the future, to actually put some videos together. And have a think, guys, about anything you think that really the two of us could work on and do together well. We're quite happy to take. We've got some ideas already, but we'll take input from you. So, put it in my chat, in Mike's chat. You know how to get in touch with both of us, or Mike's Discord. Just let us know, and we'll act on it.
Yeah, that's absolutely the case. And it can even be an area. Quinn and I haven't really uncovered any areas of disagreement yet, but I'm comfortable with them. And I would be very comfortable, Quinn, with you making a video in response to something I'd said. I think this is the culture that works best. I'm biased, of course, but I think it's good to have that, to sit with any disagreement. We haven't found an area of it yet, but when we do.
Well, yeah, the video I've got coming out in a couple of days' time, I do make a point in there about how much I've learned from talking to other autistic people. But conversation generally needs something to talk about, and minor points of disagreement are great jumping off points for conversation. As long as you can keep it civil, then hopefully we'll all be happy. I'm not good with conflict. A lot of autistic people aren't good with conflict, but we're bloody good at civilized debate. So let's have more of it. Anyway, it's now dead on 9:30. Thanks everybody who said hello. I have seen loads and loads of names. Oh, Manon, nice to see you as well. Loads of names, quite a few I didn't expect. Ankylosaurus. Lovely to see you. I've had a really nice time tonight. We'll definitely do it again. Not sure if it'll be next week, but definitely in the next couple of weeks. You do these every Tuesday, don't you, Mike?
Every Tuesday, and you are welcome to pop in. Also, like I said, Quinn said, sorry, we are planning some content together. But if any of you guys have ideas, would be very warmly receptive to it. We have some plans, and we have our own inimitable styles. So that's
N4BWR. That's a lovely comment. Two great minds and two of my favorite autistic YouTubers. That's really nice. Thank you. Anyway,
Thank you.
I am going to go now. All right,
Quinn, go.
See you soon, guys. All right.
Give us a hug and cuddle some cats. I'll see you. There we go. How was that? That was the almighty Quinn. Thank you all, by the way, for putting us in contact with each other, because it wouldn't have happened otherwise. If there are collaborations that you think, or people that you think I should talk to, Quinn and I vibe really, really well together. We were chatting for hours yesterday. It wasn't a brief conversation. It was most of the day we were chatting. We had a lot of stuff to cover, and thoroughly enjoyed each other's company. It's great. Thank you all so very much. It's been, how do I best describe it? Incredible. Like, for me, I've been delighted that people have said that I've been able to help them. I've just helped in some way, and Quinn was one such person for me. So it's been topic. How can those of us who easily engage with each? Brilliant. I will make a note of that. I'm going to watch this back and grab that later. That will happen. Great collab. Love Quinn. Isn't he great? Isn't he lovely? I'd love to see you and Meg from I'm Autistic Now. What, Andrea? Thank you so much. Give Meg a bug for me. Drop her a line on her channels. Meg and I are actually friends. IRL. Meg sent me this. That's from Meg. A sandy snail. Meg's great. And it's just been like you know, some of us YouTubers are kind of, I'm a bit of a YouTuber tart, you know. I'm constantly doing live streams and things because they're so much fun, right? But like to get Quinn, that was pretty cool, and we'll definitely do some more stuff as well. Meg got me started on my journey. Love her lots. Yeah, Meg is amazing. Quinn is a great chap. Thank you for your help. Thank you. Quinn is amazing, honestly. I can't remember which one of Quinn's videos it was. I wasn't in the frame of mind to make notes on who the YouTubers were. I didn't really care. I just was like, I was just going through a lot at the time. This doesn't cover it, this book, but the mind map does. And in fact, we'll go through, a couple of people asked me more about the mind map. Well, I can show what the mind map turned into. I abandoned the mind map at the stage that I showed it in the video. It later became a Word document. So we'll go through those at some point. But it is pretty hard, by the way, you know, because I do get I get a lot of comments, a lot of messages, sometimes emails, which are quite unpleasant, I guess. And it's like, do I really want to show stuff about like me and my inner workings? You know, do I put that vulnerability on the internet? It's kind of a bit of a challenge, I would say. But I'll find a way and make it happen somehow. So a lot of videos Quinn did from about a year ago. Me too, Helen. I watched all of his videos, I think, from last year. From a couple of years ago, Quinn made a video on PDA that I saw after I made my video on PDA. It's a good video. I like it. Taylor, Claire, and Orion, a great tool. Yeah, in fact, Claire and I have done quite a bit of stuff together. Sharkatana. I'd like to say Shark's cool. SCF now marked to watch more. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Quinn and Thomas Henley were my first content creators. I followed, so great to see you've worked with both now. They're both cool. Like, do you want to know what's amazing? Like having their phone numbers, and we don't phone each other, obviously. Anyone phones me, I'll burn the phone. In fact, I will do some content on how I manage phone calls or not, or whatever. It's a bit of a challenge. YouTube tart as we give them ironically. I like it. Yeah, well, like, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying I'm not being selective, but you know, Quinn doesn't often do lives. Hey Gemma's Journey, how are you doing? Love Meg. I love Meg too. So much love for Meg. So much love for Meg. Helen, I think you should definitely collab over several things. Mikey have helped to bring us into a beautiful online community. Hey, thanks, Helen. I do appreciate that. I'm just a guy, though. It's worth pointing out, right? I'm just a dude. It's like just a dude on the internet. I'm just a YouTube bot. Sorry. YouTube's pretty good. In fact, something that is actually really good about YouTube is that it helps pull us together. Like YouTube for all of its failings, notwithstanding the fact I'm still on a warning from YouTube. It's kind of like the algorithm is quite good at finding people and showing the right content to them, so it really does help. Podcast with Gemma, Michael Sintermand. Gemma was on Claire's podcast, Autistic People Talking. I think Quinn was the first autistic creator I watched. Jenica, yeah. He might be the first one I watched too, actually. Zedtrink, it was funny when you showed your map. I'd done some Visio one nightmare thing that was similar. I love Visio. It wouldn't work so much easily for me in Visio because it's like, I use Visio for my day job, picking naps, funny enough, a lot of time. And Visio is great if you know what you want to do, whereas Simple Mind, which is what I used, is good if you haven't got a bloody clue where to start. Thank you. I'm a Michael too, so that kind of helps, right? That's half of it done. You are the dude when it comes to the autistic cast community. Thanks. Musings of my ADHD mind. I don't know that one. ADHD mind. I don't know that one. Who's Musings? The Thought Spot was my... You posted a video on having autism and auditory APDs and visual processing disorders. Yeah. Okay. Me and Quinn. Just Quinn. I can pass it on to him if you like. Musings of the ADHD mind. Who is Musings of the ADHD mind? That's not Ponderful, is it? I'm so glad I found this community. Much love to everybody. Me too. Fathering Autism is the first autism channel. That's another one I haven't heard of before. Oh, we need a tart emoji. Okay. Fathering Autism. Okay. My son's not autistic, so I haven't had the autism parent side of things. Does Quinn like the Flapjack song? No idea. It's easy to make links from small things to sheets page workers found someone. Yeah, OneNote's pretty good. I used to love OneNote. Tart lol. I was like, you guys. So, getting Quinn on a live stream has taken about a month. I'm glad we've done it. We've done it. We've done it. Ponderful's now Ember Green. That's right. Not heard of Fathering Autism near me neither. I've made notes. That's cool. That's 2 new autism channels I've not heard of before. Is there a tech support thread in Discord? No, but there probably should be. Amber Green, yeah. Is it Ember Green? Ponderful is very good. Maybe we should get some Ponderful. I don't agree with the ABA content either. I don't watch his content. Who's that? I'm crowdsourcing from you guys. Who's the ABA content there, Gemma? What channel is that? The ABA content channel? Ember Green. Okay, cool. Please, this would be the community to get sex for. If you're autistic, take care, Zedtrink. Thank you. And your mum, that was fast. You said 3 months. Amelia, well, you see, I've been working on him. It's like, hey, Quinn, yes, Sam has a video on psychedelic therapy for autistic people. I like being autistic, but some of the inevitable hardships could be addressed with psychedelics like crippling anxiety. Mm-hmm. Fathering autism does a lot of ABA. Okay. Okay. Did somebody else report autistic with a white beard? Hey, Paul. So like, hey, Achiro, welcome. By the way, welcome to the Patreon. By the way, the Patreon has helped me get more content out. Paul from Adult with Autism is very dry. I'm sorry, that's a... Thank you for the super chat, whoever did that. This is different software, so the normal overlays are not. Pejao did a response to ABA on Fathering Autism. Oh, okay, thank you so much. I watch these, you see. Yeah, I guess I haven't touched on ABA yet, but I have been doing a lot of reading about ABA, because ABA, the evidence behind ABA, before I touch ABA, I wanted to get my head really clear on the therapeutic, the body of evidence supporting it. And what's super interesting, for those of you who don't know, is that the body of evidence supporting ABA is completely circular. It's not, there's no evidence supporting it. It's like opening a Spider-Man comic and saying that Spider-Man exists because Spider-Man is set in New York and New York is a real place. So therefore Spider-Man exists. That's a really good analogy. I should use that. Because like we've got Shadow Community tab, cool demo article. I'll check a look. I have a video on my channel. That's true, by the way. TJ is very much our resident psychedelic expert. There's a limited amount of things that I can say on YouTube. FYI, another reason for Patreon. A step-by-step video of new to Discord person. Tech frustrated is cool. That actually is on the list, by the way. It's pretty kind. So the people that have moved, the people that are on the Discord, the vast majority it's new to, and everybody seems to have picked it up really, really fast. Yannick, Autistic AF ABA video might be risky concerning strikes by YouTube. Exactly. Which is why a ABA video from me can't happen until the end of July at the very, very earliest. Basically, because I've been self-employed for 20 years, and now I actually have a boss who is an overlord who punishes me for doing things wrong. But maybe a little bit of ABA would help challenge us to go, well, look, I mean, ultimately, we're talking about masking, aren't we? And we're talking about blending in and making yourself more acceptable. So in the extreme examples, we have people who are not capable of living a life in society without 24/7 care. And would you subject them to ABA therapy? Well, no, hell no. But why? You know, first principles. Would it be useful for them? No. Even if it worked? No. Then you think about people like me. Would I be subjected to ABA therapy? Well, I kind of was in respect of societal ABA, to suppress stims, to hide myself. And the damage that formalized ABA would have done to me is pretty horrendous. Regarding ABA, that's called citation cartel. Yeah, a group of people citing each other's papers in a great big circle jerk that makes the thesis seem like it's more solid than it really is. Victor, that is what I'm talking about. How do I click that? How do I show that on the screen? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a citation circle jerk. Because, sorry for anyone under 18 who's watching this stream, because they've got so many references and they're like, oh, so-and-so said this. And it just looks like a really solid piece of evidence, you know, stuff. And it's like, well, it is well cited. We just keep looking backwards through the most cited reference back. And it ultimately goes down. It looks like a teardrop shape. It's like most of ABA therapy's support is all citation cartel there. And then there's a bit of original stuff as well, but more or less this looks like a big circle. I see why families of autistic people think it's helpful. Stimming can be scary. It can be, yeah. And potentially stimming can be harmful. There are harmful stims, which, redirect, sometimes I will do this and, I don't want to make my neck look like it's got hickeys on it, right? Koltaski. Victor Koltaski. Did I say that? Say Victor Koltaski. Okay. It's important to me to get the pronunciations of people's names right. I read a story by Google News here about 2 different autistic adults who needed 24-hour care and died because one kept... I'm sorry. Gosh. Autism family, they help me a lot. They say they have consent from their kids to post what they do, and I believe them. They're struggling a bit with YouTube. Autism family. Is that an ABA kind of group or what? I'll take a look. When ABA invented by the same guy who invented conversion therapy. It has a lot of I don't know, but it has a lot of a lot of correlation between the two. And positive stimming to encourage self-harming stims are the issue. Yeah, exactly. Redirect. But would that be like ABA? I mean, traditional ABA is getting kids to sit down, shut up, pay attention, be respectful culturally, depending on the culture, making eye contact. The dog training for autistic people line is used quite often by a lot of advocates against ABA, and I can see why. I like the work, by the way. If you'd like me to chuck one back at you, is Kaylin Parlow. She talks to ABA practitioners fairly regularly, and she's a fantastic conduit for getting some understanding into that group of holistics who ABA therapy children. I'm reading the chat. I'm sorry. This is new software, so the chat looks different to me, and it's kind of hard for me to read. But I'm reading. Dana Anderson, yeah, cool. Dana Anderson's on my list. We subscribe to each other and watch each other's videos sometimes. Dana's pretty cool. This is a bit of an issue with ABA, which is, literally getting onto kids. They call it physical prompting, I think it's called. Yeah, I don't do that. Yeah. Yeah, Dana Anderson would be an awesome collab as well. All right. Let's see. Does Dana do... Dana doesn't do lives, does she? We should get Dana on. Even my kids at ABA is just... yeah, but then again, to a degree, schooling is a form of ABA. Schooling kind of puts people into this tunnel, and they kind of get squished through. Sit down, look forward, sit on desks, this sort of stuff. Yeah. I haven't seen a self-care video, but yeah, Dana's cool. Different vibe though. Yeah. Dana's different. It's quite helpful. I can send a message to Dana, and we'll do so in due course. It's on my list. Let her know to talk to me. Like, it works both ways. I get a lot of comments saying, Mike, you need to talk to Quinn. And it's like, okay, maybe I need to talk to Quinn now. That's how to reach a YouTuber. Comment and go. So yeah, say, hey, Autistic AF, get on his live stream. I'll happily have a little chat about stuff with. Amelia, I would wait until you have plenty of spoons, plenty of energy to looking into ABA. It's a bit of a thing. Yeah, dog. Yeah, exactly. Well, dog training from the olden days. The kind of an interesting one for you, by the way, if none of you knew. When you say positive reinforcement, that doesn't mean positive as in like, yay. It means actively doing something. So, for example, punishing a dog would be positive reinforcement. I used to be on the board of animal shelter for a few years, and I used to volunteer at Cats Protection. I know a lot of people from the RSPCA, for instance. I know a lot about animal shelters. It's been a thing. That's why I have so many cats. Take care, Michael, and thank you very much for being here. Mom on the spectrum is an interesting one because I don't think we don't actually know each other. So I don't know if she knows little old me. But yes, Mom on the spectrum would be cool. Taylor would be cool. It would be cool. I think Dana Anderson. Me too, Dana. Yay! That's cool. Right. Design. Oh, gosh, look at that. I can put logos up. Oh, wow. How about this? Wait a second. Oh, look at that. Johnny Depp. In my last video on stuff, I did pirates. Sorry. Autism rates have increased as piracy rates have decreased. So therefore, pirates suppress autism. That was all. That was about. That's all that was about. Jenny Aspie, sometimes she's doing these lives. Oh, cool. I'm trying to scroll down. What does he go? Ask Claire to introduce you to Taylor. Yeah, cool. I certainly will. Right now, I am up to my physical ability to do stuff. So hopefully things will change in future as we start to adjust more to YouTube. Lyric, why is the rum gone? Hang on, where do I bring him back? Sorry, this software is new to me. There we go. How do I move him? Can I move him? I can't move him. How do I move? I can't move him. It's very limited, I'm afraid. I love coming up with spurious correlations to most people who don't think critically. Yeah. Mike, invite Gemma for a future live stream. Sure, Gemma, if you'd like to have a chat with me, we can do it. You pop on for a bit. We need a spoon emoji. Yes, we do. And who's Lyric, by the way? Is it just Lyric? Am I googling YouTube? Am I looking on YouTube for Lyric, just like as in like lyrics to a song? Could I have a video about the theory that cats are autistic, please, Mike, at some point when you have something a little lighter? For sure. We can. Sure we can, Tanwen. Sure we can. We can definitely have a conversation about autistic cats. Yes, definitely. 100%. That will happen. Lyric Riviera, thank you. Lyric lives in an RV. Amazing. I have a cat, I'm sure he's autistic. It's actually the best. No, it'll happen for sure. For sure. There's like a few things that I'm trying to tick off at the minute. Like I'm trying to ensure that I have in my backlog of videos. There's certain things I'm trying to work on. I've got a couple Quinn and I have got a couple of ideas, bigger ideas that we're slightly working on long shot videos, you know. I just think it'll be fun to do with him. Yes. So it is possible for me to do my normal streaming with the software. I need to figure it out. John from Am I Neurodivergent? Really interesting to talk to person, talk to his ADHD. Am I neurodivergent? Okay. Neurodivergent doctor, yep. Strong. Awesome. The way this works, by the way, it's a two-way thing. Let them know too. It's you know, so because otherwise I'll just drop them a comment or an email. And can I be frank with you guys? If someone emails me and I'm not expecting email, chances are I'm not going to see it. I get like just hundreds of emails and lots of spam and stuff that doesn't get caught by the spam filter, and it just takes a while. And I like to read all the comments and I like to think about them and give considered replies, and I'm not moaning. I'm just saying it's so difficult. So if I were to contact another YouTuber, I'm not going to get in. Like, they're not going to see my comment. Like, it's not necessarily going to see my comment. Like Quinn saw my comment, which I left him about his cat, because someone mentioned it to him that I'm commented, and then we started talking, you see. So the only way to make it work is if you guys help me out. These connect. Do you know what I mean? I think I might have known this lyric, I think. I might have seen their videos. Pelly, yes, got it. Pelly. Pelly won this. Pelly, right now we've got this big motorcycle race thing going on and the roads are closed and I can't get to the post office easily. But when I can, this is going to you, Pelly. Look, I wrote you a note and everything, and look, the cat signed it. See? And Hydra here, look, this is Hydra stamped it. So yeah, I've got your email, I've got your address. This will be on its way to you. You'll get it this month. You'll get it like just maybe like 2 weeks or something. I don't know how long they're supposed to be. I will do it. TJ, want a sticker? Scar as well. All of these things are behind me, ready to get posted. I'll do it. It'll all be posted. That's right, Rachel. It's the book club book. We do a live stream for Tea and Tales, and just pick a random. Generic art dad, cool. That's a new one to me. Is a way to show. No, there's not. Believe it or not, YouTube doesn't give you that much like power. Like, I'll give you, here's one for you, right? Sometimes I've had some really good conversations in my YouTube comments and I've replied to someone and they've replied to me and stuff. There's a button called responses with new replies, but that alone has got like hundreds, nay, thousands of responses in. How do I find what you've got? So it's really hard. Like, YouTube is not like, YouTube can do better. Like, YouTube can do a better comment section. If they could, if they wanted to. They need to do better because it's so hard. Like, and then it's like, just sometimes I'll scroll YouTube comments, like I'll be in bed with a cup of tea or something, and I'll scroll YouTube comments and I'll find something. And it'll be like, someone replied to me from like 3 months ago, and then I'll reply to them. So it's like that. Sorry. It just is. It's a pain in the butt. A little plug here for the scratching post. So I have a Patreon, and yes, it supports me, but it's not actually about that, because the 3 tiers give you stuff. The lowest tier is $4 a month and includes access to the 24/7 Discord, which is like a live stream, but kind of 24/7. The other 2 include extra content. On my Patreon, I've got some free content, by the way. Like, it costs you nothing to sign up, and it's completely free, and you may as well, because occasionally I'll post stuff there that I can't post on YouTube. Then the Autistic Kittens tier, which is the $4 a month tier, that contains, that's got a video on it as well. that's got stuff on it. There's a video on there about me responding to institutionalized autistic people. There's over 1,000 institutionalized autistic people in England alone. And that's not even Wales, Scotland, Ireland. You know what I mean? I talk about that. It's a little bit heavy, but I do. I also show you who's responsible for this institutionalization, because there are people responsible for it. I have to be careful what I say now because I'm streaming on YouTube, and YouTube has stopped my streams in the past for saying nothing other than the truth. And I don't mean truth like conspiracy theorists say, the truth, tinfoil. But I actually mean like the truth. Nothing controversial, I'm afraid. It's not a controversial video. So there's that. The Autistic cat crew tier in the middle and the tiger tier at the top, they get extra stuff. So tiger tier gets tons of extra things. They get bloopers, they get run-ons. A lot of my video that I make for YouTube, I've talked to Quinn about this quite a bit, because Quinn is on the same page as me on this, because when you make videos for YouTube, you have to make them with a certain editing style such that people don't get bored. And for Patreon, you don't, because people on Patreon, on Discord, you guys have got attention spans longer than a goldfish, so we can just talk about stuff. But for YouTube, it's not the case. So there's that, and so Cat Crew and Tiger Tier get exclusive videos, at least one a month. Currently working on about 2 a month, but we'll get there. We'll make it work. Brittany asked a thing, Mike. What did Brittany ask? Sorry. So NeuroGeezer, YouTube could publish an API. For example, the subscriber count is available, but not through an API. They will only give you rounded to 2 decimal points. What's the point? Brittany Daniels, can I please talk to you on a video about my experience as an autistic woman with 5 other disabilities outside of autism of getting non-ABA occupational therapy and speech therapy? We could possibly do that at some point. Now is a good time, by the way, if you have like critical points to make. Now is a really good opportunity while everyone's here. Type something. The one thing I am difficult to do at the minute is anything that's too collaborative. So Quinn and we spent hours yesterday going through the details about how would we structure a video on this, that, and the other, and we'll figure it out. But it's like, in the meantime, Quinn, can you just come on a live stream and talk to me? And he did, because he's cool. But yeah, that would be helpful. YouTube algorithm is improving for small channels. Yes, it is. It is. And therapies actually autistic people find helpful. Absolutely. Yes, definitely. I'm scrolling the comments now, by the way. I'm just scrolling back. Mic drop. When I do a mic drop, an autistic AF drop on YouTubers that you think should probably contact me. Some YouTube creators start a second channel, potentially. The issue is 2 hands to do, and I'm also autistic, so does play well with others, but also does stuff myself. A sixth sense Amelia. My cats are all technically psychopaths. Don't let the cuteness deceive you. It's a ploy. Yes. 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 I've noticed this too, by the way. You will now see smaller channels on YouTube. Andrea Brand. Message Megan Dana. Ping 'em. Whoever you like. Honestly, I am happy to have conversations with people and learn things. My only concern is that I have a limited amount of resources. I have a limited amount of time to do stuff. And when I have a plan, I tend not to like deviating from it. So I want to do the thing. That doesn't mean anything. No hidden message there. Brittany Daniels, state health benefit plan here in Georgia that listens to what I want, need to work on individualized speech therapy session for you. That sounds really good. Like it. Like it. That's good. Navigating the American healthcare system is not something I know a lot about. And some of those things, I don't know, honestly, Andrea, that thing there, like messaging, well, pinging other YouTubers is how I've collaborated with Claire. That entire thing came from, it was TJ's suggestion to go there, and then I sent a message saying, everyone, please say you've come from the Autistic Arts, and then and then we kind of became friends after that. It's amazing. The other one was Quinn, and Thomas Henley too. The whole thing. It's like sometimes you just need like noise. And if anybody's got a link to Elon Musk, that'd be quite good as well. I've got some things I want to ask him. Yeah. Well, the thing is, just you could also just contact them now, because it would take that long before we do something. So. And Jen, yes, exactly. And it's like, in fact, I've got some stuff for Jen. Parasocial. So we just need to be our parasocial extrovert friends. You need to tell me stuff about yourselves so I can learn about you all. So to bring this up, but everyone that interacts with my son uses a sort of a technique like ABA, so it's confusing. For example, speech therapy is a preferred toy or treat to encourage verbalization about it. So there we go. I'm going to go and make my own tea now, because I think Ian's gone to bed. Excuse me. Jen makes me laugh because she reminds me of my mom to a ridiculous degree. Have you told her that, TJ? Okay, right. I should be able to... Oh, I can share my screen. Add a source. Hang on. I'm going to try and play something. T-Fairies Institute, they do. Hang on. Let me try and do this.
In the darkest night, she takes flight. A fluffy force, a beacon of light. With a maid of fury and a heart so pure.
That's Hydra the cat. This is your reminder to hydrate.
Hydra the cat, ready to endure.
That's pretty good.
She prowls the land with eyes
Ignore the bass, I've done it already.
Hydra the cat, ready to endure.
Hey, Hydra.
She prowls the land with
Wendy, I can hear all wrong books. Go to bed. Hey, Wendy. This sounds amazing.
Hydra reminds us all to hydrate on the dawn.
It's a rocket song, isn't it?
Hydra, the king of the fiery
with
She's here and rock our souls to the bone. In a pause we find a connection so free. Hydra the cat, reminding us to be
rocking free. What is it? So thank you all very much. I've never got a horror podcast yet. There you go. Okay, sorry. Thanks for that. I mean, if I don't try it, how will I ever know? Oh, I can bring a second camera to the studio doing that. Okay. Local video, screen share, presentations. All right. This is... Thank you all very much. Night. I'm here. How do I put my Probably we'll go do like some music quizzes or something on the Special Hostess. I will see you there. Thank you all very much. And again and again, there's no limit. There's nothing to do. Remember to be rocking. Let me know.